Hello, today we are going to learn trinomial factoring, and this is very important for solving a quadratic equation. So today we are going to see, you know that there are two ways to represent a quadratic equation. So one is, we call this form standard form. So we know this one from last cycle, standard form. And also we know from this standard form, you could find the y-intercept directly. This one, because we could find the y-intercept directly, so also we call standard form y-intercept form. And the y-intercept is a c value. The reason for that is y-intercept x equals 0. We substitute x equals 0 into this standard form. You will see a times 0 squared plus b times 0 will be 0. So only c left. So y-intercept is 0, c. And this standard form, also we call it area form. So if, for example, if we have x minus 1, x plus 2, we times it together, then one is length, one is width. We expand it, so you have x minus 1 times x plus 2. Then we could expand it, and if we use area model, then you will see x times x give you x squared, negative 1 times x give you negative x, x times 2 give you 2x, negative 1 times 2 give you negative 2. Then we collect the like terms. The final answer will be x squared. 2x minus x is 1x, then minus 2. So the area of this 2 by 2 box is 3 terms. 3 terms, we call it trinomial. So that's reason 3 terms, we also call it area. So area of this 2 by 2 box is trinomial, 3 terms. Another one is just standard form. And also we have seen the factored form in our last cycle. From this factored form, we are able to find, for example, just now we have x minus 1, x minus 2. We use this one as one example. Then we have learned that the x-intercept from this factored form will be the opposite of the number in the bracket. So it will be 1, 0, and the opposite with a number inside the bracket, so it's negative 2, 0. And also I mentioned that it only applies to the number in front of x is 1. If not 1, then we are going to learn it later how to find the zeros if the number at front of x is not 1. And for this one also we call it length and width. From this area model, we know that one side is length, one side is width. So that's the reason we call it length and width. Okay, length and width. We call this length and width form. We expand it, then it will be the area inside this box. So we call that 3 terms. The standard form is area. And this one is length width form. And another name for that is factor form. And today we know how to convert from factored form to standard form using this 2x2 box, all using the distributive property. So it's first term times each term in the second bracket, then second term times each term in the second bracket. So that is a rainbow or distributive property. Then we can find the standard form. And today, what we are going to do is backward. So we are going to convert from standard form to factor form. And we call this is factoring. Okay. And from factor form to standard form, we call it expanding. And here is type 1 trinomial, so factor this one when the a value is 1. So today we are going to deal with only the trinomials with the number at front of x squared is 1. We call it type 1 trinomial or simple trinomial. It is backward of expand. Expand is using the area model, find the areas. You will have 3 terms, and today we are going to go backward from the inside, find the outside. And how are we going to find the outside? We are going to find 2 numbers because we know that they are the 2 numbers. We are going to find these 2 numbers. And these 2 numbers are not random numbers. We compare it with this one, you will see -1 times 2 give you the last term. So times together equals C value. And I together 2 minus 1 give you 1. So the 2 numbers, 2 minus 1 give you 1, give you the middle term, the B value. So we are going to practice on finding the 2 numbers first, because we know, okay, if we could find these 2 numbers, we just put in the bracket. And these 2 numbers times together is your last term, add together is your middle term. So we are going to practice on this one. We find 2 numbers times together is 16. Add together is 10. And how are we going to find it? You have 1 factor number sheet. Then we are going to see the 2 numbers times together is 16. Okay. It listed all the pairs of factors of 16. 1 times 16 give you 16. 2 times 8 give you 16. 4 times 4 give you 16. And we are going to see which 2 numbers add together. The sum is 10. 1 plus 16 is 17. 2 plus 8 is 10. So this one works. 4 plus 4 is not 10. So 2 and 8 give you add together is 10. So this is how we find the 2 numbers from the, so 2 and 8. Then you will see 2 times 8 give you 16. 2 plus 8 give you 10. So we call this one X game. So we are going to focus on finding these 2 numbers. Then after that, example 2, we are going to do the factoring. So sum is 8 and product is -24. So times together is -24. Add together the 2 numbers is 8. we are going to see the factors of 24. So we are going to go to this one, 24. Okay, 24 we have 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4 times 6. So each pair are the factors of 24. Then this one is times together is 24, negative 24, add together is 8. So we are going to see is negative. That means the two numbers will be different sign. So what we are going to find is we find the two numbers that the difference is 8. So we are going to see difference is 8. None of them correct. So it means it's not doesn't work. So we are going back because difference is 10, difference is 5, difference is 2, difference is 23, so none of them will work. So this one is not factorable. We just say it doesn't work. Then we are going to try the next one. Okay. So this one we have found the factors of 24 already. I copy here. So 24, the factors is 1, 24. How we find all the pairs is just do the division. 24 divided by 1 give you 24. 24 divided by 2 give you 12. Then you have 2 times 12 equals 24. The next one is try the 3. 24 divided by 3 give you 8. So 3 times 8 give you 24. Then continue. Try the number 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in order, we keep trying. 24 divided by 4 give you 6. Then 5. 24 divided by 5 is not divisible, so it's not a factors. Then 24, try the 6, it will be 4. It will repeat. We only keep the not repeating pairs. If you have 6 times 4, they are same, we don't count that one. We only keep all the different pairs of factors. Then for this one, we are going to draw this. Times together 24, add together is negative 10. And here be careful because add together is negative. So for these factors, the larger number need to be negative. Then the two numbers add together, you will be able to get negative. Then times together is 24, so negative times negative give you positive, so you need to have both same sign, both negative. Then we are going to see which pair of factors add together is negative 10. Then we are going to see negative 4 and negative 6. Then we found the two numbers. So this is how you find the two numbers. Add together is negative 10, times together is 24. Then I will pause this video and you are going to try to find these two numbers. Add together is negative 1, times together the two numbers times equals negative 20. So I give you 2 minutes, figure it out, then we are going to take it up. Now we are going to take it up. So times together is negative 20, the two numbers, times equals negative 20, add equals negative 1. And if you couldn't figure it out, then check the factor number sheet. So it's 20. You have 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, 5. So we are going to go back and see which works. So I will put the factors here. So 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 3 doesn't work. 20 divided by 3 is not divisible. So try the next one. 4, 20 divided by 4 give you 5. So you have 3 pairs. And the sum is negative, so the larger number need to be negative. So first thing, larger number, sign, same as the sum. Okay, so larger number sign is same as the sum, so it will be negative. Then the second one, we need to decide the smaller number is positive or negative. So times together is negative, then you need to have different sign. So the second one, we are going to decide this smaller number sign. So times together is negative, then different sign. One negative, another one will be positive. So this is how you determine the sign of each number for each pair, okay? And after that, we are going to see which pair the sum is negative 1. 1 plus negative 20 give you negative 19. It's not negative 1. 2 plus negative 10 give you negative 8, not negative 1. 4 plus negative 5, it is negative 1. So you have 4 and negative 5. And check again. 4 times negative 5 give you negative 20. 4 plus negative 5 give you negative 1. These two numbers work. So this is how you find the two numbers. The reason why we want to find these two numbers, because these two numbers are the numbers in the factored form, and these two sum is your B and product is your C. Product is A times C, okay? 1 times C is give you the C. So this is how you get these two numbers. You get them from the standard form. So we are going to see what it means. So from here, we need to determine the A value is 1, B value is 4, C value is 3. How are you able to get ABC? You compare it with the standard form. Standard form is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Then compare this one with standard form. No numbers at front of x squared means 1. So a is 1. And b is number at front of x is 4. And c is constant is 3. So from this standard form, we could find the y-intercept directly. Y-intercept is your C value, so it's 3. And if we write it as a point, it will be 0,3. And what are the factors? This it means x game. So when we are doing factoring, it means you are going to do this x game. So times together is A times C. So it's 1 times 3 is 3. And I together is your B value is 4. And because 3 is a prime number, so you don't have other factors, you only have 1 and 3. So we put 1 and 3 here, you will see 1 times 3 give you 3, 1 plus 3 give you 4. So this one, you only have 1 pair of factors. 3 is a prime number, only you have 1 times 3, 1 pair of factors for 3. Then I together is positive, so the larger number is positive. Times together is positive, you need to have same sign, so both positive. That's the reason you have 1 and 3 as factors for this X game. Then after that, it asks you what are the x-intercepts. So we are going to see what these factors means. Factor means they are the two numbers for the length and the width, 1 and 3. And we are going to see if this length and width give you this area. So we times it. X times x give you x squared. 1 times x give you x. 3 times x give you 3x. 1 times 3 give you 3. Then we expand it, you will have x squared plus 3x plus x is 4x, then plus 3. Now you will see that's the reason why we want to use the X game to find these two numbers, because these two numbers are the numbers inside the bracket. So this one is equivalent with x plus 1 times x plus 3. This area equals length times width, and this form is our factored form. So by finding these two numbers, then you have the factor form. You just put these two factors in the bracket. So any questions, pause here and see if you understand. So you redo this question, cover this part, do the X game. Times together is 3 on the above, on the top, and the I together is 4 is at the bottom. Then use a factor sheet. 3 is a prime number, you have only 1 times 3. Then you are going to see larger number need to have the same sign as a sum. So it's positive. Then times together is positive, you need to have same sign, both positive. Then once you have these two numbers, in future we don't want to draw this box again. We could put these two numbers in the bracket. Then this is a factor form. You have done the first factoring question. So convert this standard form, the trinomials, into factor form, into length times width. And the next one, from this factor form, can you tell me the x-intercepts, the zeros? The zeros will be the opposite of the number in the bracket. So it will be -1, 0, -3, 0. Then we are going to draw these 2 points on this graph. Okay. Okay, grid given. So 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, -2, -3, -4. So we label this grid given. Then this is x, this is y. So what are the x-intercepts? Is -1, -3. Then you also have the y-intercept is 0, 3. Okay. Then we have learned that for the x-intercepts, from x-intercept we could find the axis of symmetry, which is at the middle of the two zeros. So we are going to find the middle of these two zeros. It will be x equals average of these two numbers. So -1 plus -3 divided by 2, you will have -4 over 2. It will give you -2. So this is the axis of symmetry is x equals -2. Then after that, we want to find the vertex, we want to find the y value when x equals -2. We could substitute x equals -2 into the factored form or into the original equation. It's up to you. We are going to sub it into the factored form because this will be easier. So we sub into this one, you will have y equals, substitute -2 to x, so -2 plus 1, then -2 plus 3. You will have do the BIDMAS, do the operation in the bracket first. -2 plus 1 give you -1. -2 plus 3 give you +1. Then you have times it. -1 times 1 give you -1. So you have the vertex at -2, comma, y value is -1. So -2, comma, -1 is here. Then we want to have 5 points to do the graphing. So these 2 points is good, and this point we find the point which is symmetric with this point. So from here to the right 2 grids, then to the left it should be 2 grid 2. So this point, find the point of symmetry. Okay, symmetry, the point which is symmetric on this line. Then we connect these 5 points. And this is a problem. Okay. Then label this one y equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. Then it's done. Okay. I think last time we also did the graphing a little bit, so it's same. So I didn't graph it perfectly. So if you have eraser, then you could make it better, but I will leave it here. It's not easy to do the graphing on this one, so I will just. So any questions? 5 points. You have vertex, 2 zeros, and the y-intercept, so 5 points. And this is how you are going to do the graphing on dirty math. So you just click on these 5 points. The data math website will connect these points together. You just need to find the 5 points. And how to find the 5 points? First thing, you have 2 zeros. So you have 2 points. So you have 2 zeros. Then after that, you find the 3 point. Third point is vertex. Then the fourth point is y-intercept. And the fifth point is a point that is a symmetry. Symmetric point of y-intercept. And how to find this symmetric point is from the middle. If the y-intercept is to the right 2, then you just go the left 2. Then they are going to be symmetric on the axis of symmetry. Okay. So any questions? Pause this one here, and you could retry this question to find the zeros and find the vertex, and after that graph it. Okay, so pause this part, cover this. So what you are going to do when you are learning, so each time please, after each example, pause it and redo it. So just cover the below and try to find y-intercept, zeros, and vertex. So I will give you 5 minutes, do it. Then after you finish it, you continue to play this video. Okay, pause the video and redo it. Once you are done, then continue to check your answer to see if you get it right. So this is a way that don't rush to do your homework. Make sure you know how to do the examples. So if you don't have questions, go next page, and we are going to do the question 1 together and leave this question 2 to you. Okay, so what's the y-intercept? It will be the C value, 0, -8. What are the factors? Whenever you see factors, X game. And for the X game, you need to determine the A, B, C value. So A, no numbers at front of X squared means it's 1. And B is the number at front of X is 2. C is the last term, no variable is -8. So times together is A times C is 1 times -8 is -8. Sum is the B value is 2. And use a factors of this 1 to 90 to find the 8. 8, you have 1 times 8, 2 times 4. So go back. 1 times 8, so we write here 1 times 8, 2 times 4. And remember it's -8, okay? And the sum. So first thing, we need to determine the larger number sign. 8 should be same as the sum. So sum is +2, then the larger number's sign will be +2. Not +2, will be positive. And the times together is negative. These two numbers should have different sign. So one positive, another one will be negative. One positive, another one will be negative. And after that, we are going to see which pair add together will be 2. So negative 1 plus 8 is not 2. Negative 2 plus 4, it is positive 2. Negative 2 times 4 give you negative 8. Negative 2 plus 4 give you positive 2. So the two numbers is negative 2 and positive 4. Then we want to write it as factor form. We just put these two numbers in the bracket. And if we use an area model, you will see it will be x squared plus 2x minus 8. Length times width will give you this one. So I will show you, but you don't need to check each time, but I will check it here. So one side x minus 2, another side x plus 4. So x times x give you x squared. X times negative 2 give you negative 2x. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 2 give you negative 8. Then we collect the like terms. X squared, 4x minus 2x give you 2x. Then minus 8. Double check. Yes, the area it is x squared plus 2x minus 8. So they are equivalent. They are equal. Okay, just in different form. One is standard form. One is factored form. Then what are the x-intercepts? Object with a number in the bracket. So it will be 2, 0 and negative 4, 0. Then after that, the vertex will be the middle of these two because they are symmetric points on the problem. So 2 minus 4 plus minus 4, negative 4 divided by 2 plus minus double sign will give you multiplication will give you minus. So 2 minus 4 divided by 2 give you minus 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. You have this x value of the vertex and find the y value of the vertex by substitute negative 1 into this factor form. Negative 1 minus 2 times negative 1 plus 4. And there is a pattern, these two numbers always opposite. The reason is you have these two zeros there and this is middle, so the middle number go to each side should be equal. So always should be opposite, negative 9. Then the vertex is negative 1, negative 9. So now you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points, and also you are going to find this point, the symmetric point on the graph, then you are able to do the graph. So for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not enough, then we may just go by 2. So x, y, but for the x, we still could go by 1. So label the scales first. Okay, go by 2. We need to go by 2. Otherwise, negative 9 not going to be on the graph, on the grid. So negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 9. Then 2, 4, 6, 8. So label the scales first. Then after that, we are going to find the point. Negative 1, negative 9. Negative 1, negative 9. Then 2, negative 4. Positive 2, negative 4. The two zeros. Then the y-intercept is 0, negative 8. 0, negative 8. Then the axis of symmetry, we are going to draw it because it will be easier if you draw it to see the point that is symmetric with a y-intercept. So this is x equals negative 1. From the axis of symmetry, the y-intercept is go to the right 1. Then same y value we go to the left 1. Then they are going to be symmetric on this point, on this problem. Then we are going to connect these 5 points smoothly. And the datamines will graph it for you directly, so you don't need to worry about the graph after that. So you just find the 5 points by using your finger tap on the points. Then the point will show up on the datamines. Then once you have 5 points, the datamines will generate this problem for you. Okay, so I will leave the next one to you, give you 10 minutes to get this one. Then after that, we are going to take out the answers. Okay, so now 10 minutes is over, so we are going to take it up. Y-intercept is the C value. It will be 0, 4. Then the factors will be the X game. A is 1, B is 4. Common mistake here is 4x. B is only number at front of X, no X. So A, B, C, no variables for A, B, C, only numbers. So times together is A times C. 1 times 4 give you 4. And I together is 4. So the factors of 4, you can check the factor sheet. It will be 1 times 4, 2 times 2. Then we are going to see which sum works for this one. So always you use a product, find the factors. Then after that, you check using the sum which one works. 1 plus 4 doesn't work. 2 plus 2, yes, it's 4. So you have two numbers, it's 2, 2. And if we write it as a factor form, we just put these two numbers you found in the bracket, then it is factored. So this is how we do the factoring. And once we have this factor form, we know the x-intercept will be the opposite number. So it will be negative 2, 0, negative 2, 0. And what's the vertex? It will be same. Negative 2, 0. So because the reason is x equals negative 2 plus negative 2 divided by 2, it will give you still negative 2. Then you subtract, it will give you 0. So this one actually is have 3 points. So negative 2, 0 is here, and y-intercept is 4. So we label this one 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, then -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, x, y. Okay, label the x, y, and the scales first. Then after that, the y-intercept is 0, 4, so it's here. And for the x-intercept, you have only, they are same, zeros, vertex, they are same. Then we are going to draw the axis of symmetry, which is a vertical line passes through the vertex. So this is x equals -2. And we find the points which is symmetric with y-intercept. So right 2 is y-intercept, then we left 2. And this time we don't have the zeros, so you have 3 points only. And for paper pencil work, 3 points enough. But for the data math, you need to have the 5 points. So this is for this one. And how to find the 5 points? You have this 1, 2, 3. You could substitute x equals -1 into the equation. Then you will have y equals -1 plus 2. Then times -1 plus 2. Then you have 1 times 1 give you 1. Then you have -1, 1 at a point. So this is on data math. You just find the point between the vertex and the y-intercept. Put another point here. So this is -1, 1. Then the opposite. This is the right one. Then go another way, left one. Then you will have 5 points too. Okay. So that is for this graph. Any questions? Okay. So this is find the factors. From the factors, you are able to find the zeros which are opposite with numbers inside the brackets. Then after that, you find the midpoint. Add these two average, the two numbers. Add together, divide by 2. Then after that, you subtract to the y value. Then you will have 0. So you don't need to do it, but I will do it again. So a 0 times 0 gives you 0. So it is same, overlapped. Then after that, you do the graphing. You have 3 points, but on data math, you need 5 points. You just pick the number between the y-intercept and the vertex, then find another 2 points. Then you use your finger, just type on the grid. It will be graphed on data math. Okay, so this is for that question. Then the next one is without graphing, just factor. So look for the word factor. If you see factor means x game, and time together is a value times the last number. For this one always is 1, so it's just 1 times 6 is last term is 6. And I together is -7. So anybody can give me the 2 numbers? So factor number sheet. 6, you have 1 times 6, 2 times 3. So we go back. So 6, you have 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. The sum is negative, so larger number will be negative. And the times together is positive. The two numbers, these two numbers, negative, negative, give you positive. You need to have the same sign. Then we are going to see which two numbers I together is negative 7. So it will be negative 1, negative 6. And you are going to write it in this way. X in the bracket, x times x give you x squared, and the two numbers you found, put in the bracket, then factor question is done. So x came first, find the two numbers, and second one is just put the two numbers inside the bracket. So try the next two by yourself, then after 5 minutes, we are going to take it up. Okay, so now we are going to show you how. Check your answer, please. Times together will be 1 times negative 24 is negative 24. I together is negative 2. Negative 24, the factors, check your factor number sheet. I will just write it here. So, and in future, please try not to use your factor number sheet because if there's no pandemic, there's no open book, you need to know how to find these numbers without using your factor number sheet. Okay, so how to find the factors without that factor number sheet is just try the number 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 may not work, so 24 divided by 2 give you 12. 24 divided by 3 give you 8. 24 divided by 4 give you 6. 24 divided by 5 not divisible. 24 divided by 6, 4. Repeat, we stop. Then after that, I together is negative, so the larger number need to be same sign as the sum. So it will be negative, 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 negative. And times together the second, the smaller number sign from the product. So times together is negative. So one negative, another one need to be different. Positive times negative give you negative. So all positive for another, the smaller number. Then we are going to see. The third step is just determine the sum, which one works. I together is negative 2, okay. 4 and negative 6. Then we put in the bracket. XX in the bracket first, and these two numbers just put, copy here in each bracket. That is that. And the next one, X game times equals 1 times 21, and I equals negative 10. So the number works will be 21. You have only 1. 21 divided by 1 give you 21. 21 divided by 2 doesn't work. Not divisible. 21 divided by 3. So you just keep trying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then to find all the different factors, different the pairs that is not repeating the factors. Then we are going to see I together is negative. Then the larger number need to be negative, negative. Then times together is positive. They need to have negative times negative give you positive. So both need to be same sign negative. So negative 3, negative 7. Add together will be -10, so it works. Then we are going to write it out. Xx in the bracket first, xx give you x squared. The two numbers you found, put in the bracket. Then you could double check. Okay, x times x give you x squared. -3 times -7 give you +21. And the middle term, -3x and -7x will give you -10x. So this way you could check your answer is right or not. So this is all the lesson for today. Now it's time for you to work on the dirtmath.com 2.2 homework. And today you have essay dictate, and tomorrow morning you have a 2.2 quiz. So